Our dear Creator, relive, rejuvenate, rebirth. Level 278, Hermeticism, the corpse of 1,000 houses. Notice from assigned overseer of level 278. Currently, there is no concrete evidence of the existence of level 278. All the provided information is based on accounts gathered from individuals who've allegedly been subject to level 278's influence. Any evidence that level 278 exists should be provided to the current known overseer of the level. If you are found to be withholding evidence proving the existence of Level 278, sharing this document with any unauthorized personnel, or spreading false information of Level 278, you are at risk of expulsion from MEG. Please be advised, support is not offered to every individual affected by Level 278. Survival difficulty, Class Omega, hidden documentation, classified properties, protected entity. Level 278 is the 279th level of the Backrooms. Due to the level's anomalous property of manifesting as a metaphysical space, any attempts of researching or investigating this level are difficult, if not fruitless. As such, the following information mentioned in this document are all based on witnesses and inferences. Do not trust any of the information provided below. Image caption. The above image is a digital recreation of the appearance of Level 278, curated by a victim of the level's effects. It is not a direct photograph. Description. Level 278 is a metaphysical space that is unable to be comprehended by the human mind in a cohesive manner. Any and all descriptions of the level are believed to be the human brain's attempt to find recognizable patterns within the unknowable. That being said, what has been gathered of the level's environment and structural makeup has been consistent across all interviewees. The locale itself seems to contain several items, though individuals on this level seem to be unable to identify any recognizable features of them, aside from the item's color. The same items have been described by all people who are presumed to have been on this level, so the space would appear to be limited in size, or, at the very least, static in composition. Whilst in this space, individuals do not exist in their body, but, instead, are known to exist only as a glowing orb, approximately 2 meters in diameter. Despite this, individuals in this form retain their normal senses, despite the lack of necessary appendages needed to perceive their senses. Their movement capabilities have now been reduced to a slow hover, as their now removed limbs prevent them from performing ordinary motor actions. Wanderers who've stepped upon level 278 will only be able to stay there for a few minutes before being forcibly teleported back to the entry point of level 278 they had just accessed. A voice, identified as feminine in pitch, can be heard constantly during one's time on the level, which has been transcribed down below. Elapsed time, 30 seconds. My name lingers within your husk, I see. Despite everything we've gone through, the plague, the fall into infinity, the burning, you never forgot my name. I am grateful, newcomer. Elapsed time, 60 seconds. I know you're scared, not of me, but of that lurking terror in the corner, death. But that's only because you think of it as death. And yet, you fell victim to it long before you met me, youngling. Elapsed time, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Covetous you are not, I could assume. You've always been one prone to the odd gesture of generosity. Consider this the biggest act of generosity imaginable. There be no greater duty. Elapsed time, 1 minute and 60 seconds. At times, you may have felt my children, the thousands of tiny insects under your skin, each one nipping at you for your attention. They live underneath your skin, deep within your mortal shell, crawling, squirming, itching for the chance to be given life. Elapsed time, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You now possess no body. I've cast you out of it and allowed the greater soul to take it as their rightful property. There's no reason to fret, however. This shall not be your end. Elapsed time, 2 minutes and 60 seconds. You've hoarded life for long enough. It's time you give that blessing to someone else. It may finally be that you join me in my everlasting search for purity. Without doubt, you will help me free others of their bindings. Elapsed time, 3 minutes and 60 seconds. Let the smoldering kindles of yourself die out. Grant yourself peace of mind, and know that you've done more in the short time we've been together than you have your entire life. After being subject to the effects of level 278, the individual will be transported back to where they were before being on this level. Though their mental state and memories seem to be altered, any injuries the individual sustained that led to their death will be healed in all aspects, though their physical form will be unchanged beyond that. Individuals who've undergone this change seem to have no recollection of their life prior to going to this level, and previous memorable events in their life will be described as nothing more than a dream. The individual's personality will be entirely transformed, nothing like what it was previously. When asking these individuals about their life, they will be able to describe it vaguely, though exact specifications are difficult for them. As of now, 8 individuals have had their experiences on level 278 recorded. Only 3 of those have been provided to you, as the rest are of no importance. If you require access to these unshared accounts, please contact Data Expunged for possible access to them. The following transcripts are interviews with individuals who are believed to have visited level 278 and been affected by their effects. Victim number 1. Interviewed: Henry Kinderson, formerly Alan Goodman. Interviewer: Philip Goodman, former overseer of level 278. Year of interview: 1982. Philip Goodman. Come on, Kinderson. Take a seat. We're gonna be here a little bit. Henry Kinderson. I prefer to stand, Mr. Goodman. Philip Goodman. Ah, ever so formal. Wait, it's on? Ah, alright. Hello, Henry Kinderson. Today we're going to be asking you a series of questions regarding the paranormal occurrences that have transpired following your near-death experience. It is to be stated that all of this information is going to be public to all MEG operators. Have you any qualms of sharing these details? Let them be known. Henry Kinderson. No, Mr. Goodman. I wouldn't be here if I did. Philip Goodman. Great. Now, let's see. Is it file set 4 or 5? Huh. It's 8? I don't have that one. Give me a moment. It's not 8. It's 2, you baboons. God, I can't stand the organization around here. So, to lead this off with, can you confirm that you've not retained any memories that align with that of your current body? Are you certain that you remember almost all events in your life from a different point of view from the one you're currently in? Henry Kinderson. That's an odd way to word that. Though, yes, I believe that this is not my native form, near certain of it. The 2 lines of experience within my life converge between the death of my past life and my close call with death more recently. Everything that happened between that point seems distant. I'm unsure why. Philip Goodman. Jesus, you don't even speak like Kenderson. Never would he talk like some professional Meggie, much less even agree to an interview in the first place. Henry Kenderson. Oh, did you know him? Or me? Before this whole ordeal happened? Philip Goodman. Know him? I made him. Got him a good deal with a small Meg squad that stays out of the frontline expeditions. Pay was nice for doing such menial work. It was mainly maintaining paperwork and such. How'd he even manage to die? Meg hasn't even given me the full details of this. Henry Kinderson. Brain cancer. Apparently, he had kept it secret for years while it gnawed away at his psyche. 4 years, roughly. He had recorded it in a small private web page, day by day, on a primitive computer supplied to him by the Meg themselves. At first, he had small vocal and motor-related mishappings that were nothing more than slight embarrassments. Soon enough, though, it spiraled into forgetting how to speak efficiently, being unable to eat without help, or even get out of bed in the morning. He was slumped over while looking over Meg documents, still slaving away even when there was hardly anything left of him. Philip Goodman. Why are you speaking in the third person? He's you! Shit. How come you're still here then? The cancer can eat at its host, but not its recipient? He would have rather had his body burn in a dumpster than have some lifeless personality take over him. Henry Kinderson. The Meg should have informed you of my apparent restoration of my body upon being reborn. Meg Goodman. No, they didn't. That's the issue with all this. They want me to question you, but won't even tell me anything. Henry Kinderson. I apologize for that, Mr. Goodman. Philip Goodman. Ah, wait, there's one good question on there. It is required of me to ask you if you've heard of or come into contact with the creature known as amarok, as it is vital that you do not. Henry Kinderson. Let the smoldering kindles of yourself die out. Philip Goodman. Excuse me? Is that a yes or. Henry Kinderson. Response removed for reader safety. Philip Goodman. Wow. Tossed into the cinder. Huh. End transcript. Henry Kinderson was later terminated at the command of Philip Goodman. All traces of his existence were erased. This is the only remaining evidence of his life. Victim number 3. Interviewed. Jeffrey Baldwin, formerly Quincy Adams. Interviewer. Philip Goodman, former overseer of Level 278. Year of interview. 1987. Note: the interviewee of this recording demonstrated no ability to be able to de-escalate an aggression prior to this log, and did nothing but monologue lines that were perceived as threatening by other Meg operators. As such, this log's questioning section was unable to be carried out to its fullest extent, and serves only to record the existence of Jeffrey Baldwin. Jeffrey Baldwin, like an automation craving for humans to put me back together, I yearn for touch. I am a fragmented being that's been cast out by my higher powers, left to fend for myself, as my ego is lit aflame, and made to burn for eternity. I ask you, what possesses thee to grant me counsel? What does thou wish to scrape off my corpse? Philip Goodman. Jesus, we've just barely sat down. Let's start with some more beginner stuff before we go into that nonsense. Firstly, what's your name? Jeffrey Baldwin. You want my blood to run down your hands, and for you to garner but a small amount of the glory provided to me. Does this stand true? Philip Goodman. You can stop the weird talking and all that. There's no need for you to be complicated. Jeffrey Baldwin. This leads you nowhere. You have nothing to gain from fraterization. This road leads to ruin by the hands of amarok. Philip Goodman. Fine, we can skip the questioning. No point of it all anyways. Philip Goodman proceeds to turn multiple pages of the questioning reference book he was given. Philip Goodman. Despite the sacrifices of the Meg and the might of the group, we've allowed a victim to fall into the clutches of the supernatural. This victim is, without doubt, you. Despite this, our spirits still rest within you well. This is why I speak these words to you, not out of a malicious volition, but instead out of an uncompromised will to ensure that you, and others similar to you, will be put to a good rest. Know that measures have already been taken to guarantee that you will live on, so fear your death not a moment longer. Even in death, we claim reverence. Silence overcomes the room. Jeffrey is no longer truly with Philip. Philip Goodman. They call it an interview. What the fuck? This is just a recorded slaughtering. End transcript. Jeffrey Baldwin was slain during this audible interview, after being subjected to the effects of power word kill. Footnote. Information on this remains undocumented still. Logging on it is currently going underway. End footnote. Think of that holy, and you are bright. When I am killed, I want it glorious and right, not by the hands of the Meg. Victim number 6. Interviewed. Dylan Bennett, formerly Philip Goodman. Interviewer. Data expunged. Current overseer of Level 278. Year of interview. 2007. Data expunged. Mr. Bennett, you are going to die. At the end of this log, I will slaughter and maim you. There is a singular way that you can circumvent this from happening. Telling me everything you know about Level 278. I do not care about you or how the level ruined your life. If you fail to inform me on everything I need to know, the Meg has told me I have full rights to dispose of you in any way I see fit. Is there any possible question you could have on any one of my terms. Dylan Bennett. Wow, not really. Kind of a rude way to start, though. Data expunged. Great. First off, who is Amarok? Dylan Bennett. Of course you do this to me. You know if I answer that, I'll die. If you're smart, you'll make me wait until the end. How's that sound? Data expunged. That goes against the script, but whatever. I don't really care. Next, how did you gain entry into level 278? Dylan Bennett. You should know this already. I used to oversee the level, obviously. At first, they were all secret about the name, but as soon as one lets it slip, I'm in the whole circle of chaos. Data expunged. Right, so you've been rebirthed. A brief pause. Dylan Bennett. Yes. Data expunged. And you still possess all the memories regarding your time overseeing level 278. How's that possible? That's never been recorded. Dylan Bennett. Well, it's kind of simple. I just had a memory jar filled with my life before I was reborn. Then I came back and got to act all normal. Data expunged. Are you Dylan Bennett? Yes, I was preparing for this. From the second I was born to the second I died, I dedicated each and every living moment I had to devoting my life to level 278. I listened to its chaotic little sayings in the dark when it tried to talk me into giving myself up. I carried out what was needed for the level's goddess to thrive. I gave them complete control of myself, and they can't even give me a slight bit of a reward for my work. Several seconds of silence. Data expunged. I see. I don't completely think you're fit to be continuing with this interview. Huh. Dylan Bennett. After doing what you do my entire life, I can't stand these anymore. But you know you aren't fit either. Data expunged. There's no need for this to continue. Who is Amarok? Dylan Bennett. Really, that time already. Alright, let's see how quick I can do this. Better to die at the hands of her than you lot. Dylan Bennett. Amarok is the absolute prime form of the Backrooms. She has allowed myself and many others to live without pain and actively exerts her influence on those below her. With ease, there is no greater duty than to serve her in her holy cause. She controls the level you all seek and will close its pearly gates to protect her children from your weak and hurtful minds. Think of her as a fool and you will perish. Think of her as unfit and you will befall to crisis. Dylan's body promptly collapses in on itself and erupts in a surge of bile, blood, and other human fluids, coating the room the interview was taking place in. Nothing more can be recorded, as the interviewer's device was damaged following this. End transcript. Dylan does not exist anymore. All information about him after undergoing level 278's harmful effects were erased, though all records prior were kept and can still be seen today. Insight is not but momentary madness, of which I quell for those who've gone mad. Entrances and exits. Entrances. Currently, only one method of entering level 278 has been found. Upon learning of the existence of a creature known as Amarok, you're fated to end up on level 278, following your death. There are no known means to stop you from entering this level once you learn its name. If you've been granted access to this page, you will eventually end up on level 278. As such, the following measures should be taken immediately. Obtain a sheet of paper and record all known things about your life on it. You will carry this item with you at all times to ensure you don't forget your previous life. It is recommended that you inform the overseer of level 278 that you know this information. He'll allow you to end yourself in the most humane way available. If you are unable to get in contact with the overseer of level 278, it is recommended that you euthanize yourself in the most painless way available. Lethal injection is the recommended route you should take. Exits. After you've undergone the effects of level 278, you will be returned to where you were prior to these events taking place. This ability of the level is not to be used in order to extend one's natural lifespan. Do so, and you will be put down without question. Death is truly a fickle thing. Some think you go to the front rooms on death. Others believe the grave is where you'll end up. However, your psyche will venture to one place, and one place only. Expand your horizon, and seek me out. or continue your ignorance and hide in the shadows of obliteration.